Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe. We have new content coming out daily. Make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys. Trust in the media is at an all-time low. Can you just give us some perspective, Brent, over the last decade, how consumption of information has changed?
Well, because we first of all, when the news media have a trust rating lower than Congress, you know they're in trouble.
So what is the number exactly?
I think the last time I saw was 17 or something like that.
Wow,
it makes
that's
you wonder
unbelievable.
who likes them. Used car dealers have better reputations than the news media do. Now, why? Well, here's an interesting dynamic, Charlie. We're going from the news era. We're leaving the news era, and we're going into the information age. You no longer, 9 out of 10 people no longer wait for the newspaper in the morning to be delivered to see the news, or wait till 6:30 in the evening. They pick up this thing. And they look for the information.
That's right.
They look for information, not news. If you survey young people and ask them where they get their news, they get it from Facebook. That's where they're getting the news. So you've got the networks are still very, very powerful in that they can create the narrative. And I'll argue that a lot of people will argue that the elections were or weren't stolen in 2020 at the ballot box. But I can argue, and I can argue with scientific certainty, that the media stole the 2020 elections.
So your organization, the Media Research Center, had the conclusive piece of data, and it was about the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
This is, I think, 10 out of 10. Walk us through it.
Well, it was actually 5 or 6 different questions, but here's what we did. We looked at all the battleground states. We looked at here in Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. And we asked a series of questions of Biden's voters. These were questions we knew had not been covered by the news media because we track all these things. We asked, for example, did they know that Kamala Harris had a voting record to the left of Bernie Sanders, the socialist? And we looked at it was like 48% or whatever. And then we asked them, would you have voted for Joe Biden had you known this? And we took that number, whatever it might be, 5.2%, and we put it across those states. And Donald Trump would have won Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Then we asked the same question, did you know that America was oil energy independent? 50% of Democrats had no idea. Did you know that Donald Trump had been nominated or recommended for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes?
Wow.
Did you know 11 million jobs have been created in 2 months? Did you know that GDP in the last quarter was 30%? 30% GDP. So we asked those series of questions, but here was the big one. We asked, did you know about the Hunter Biden laptop story? Now, here's what's important about this, Charlie. Conservatives, all conservatives believe, well, everybody knew about this. Everybody knew about the laptop. Well, when you ask Biden's voters, 49.1% had never heard of Hunter Biden. I'll get to why in a second. 41.9% had never heard about it. Then we asked, would you have voted for Joe Biden had you known? 9.4% of Biden's voters wouldn't have voted for him. So what would have happened? Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, all the battleground states would have gone to Trump in a landslide. He would have won at least 317 electoral votes. And that's we just polled the battleground states. He would have taken some of the blue states as well. At least 317 electoral votes. It would have been an absolute landslide. Had they only, Charlie, we're just talking about them reporting the news.
And think about in 2016, they almost kind of reported the news of the Hillary Clinton laptop, and I think they swore a blood oath. We're never doing that again.
Oh, yeah,
we're never doing any sort of negative press. The last 90 days of an election, we are not going to cover a scandal. There's no more October surprises. If a tree falls in a forest and there's an October surprise, no one to cover it. Did it actually happen?
Yes. And now, one of the things that we know for a fact, take the Hunter Biden story, you know that ABC, NBC, and CBS completely buried it. Why? Because we covered these things, and we showed it was a matter of seconds that they gave and rejected it. We know that Twitter censored it because when Elon Musk took over, he found that out. And then Mark Zuckerberg admitted that the Justice Department went to him and called it Russian collusion and told them not to cover it. Now, Charlie, people should go to prison for this. When the Justice Department is that weaponized, that they are going to Facebook and telling them not to cover a story that they know is going to hurt Joe Biden. People should have gone to prison for that. So we know it wasn't covered at all. But here's the terrible thing, Charlie, and conservatives better be recognize something. It's happening all over again, right before our very eyes. You and I know lots of things going on in this administration, and your viewers know everything we know that's going on about all the bribery and all that kind of stuff. I can guarantee you that probably a majority of Democrats have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, and we also live in a police state in addition to that, and the media won't cover the police state.
We really do. We really do. I mean, the Justice Department is so weaponized. You don't dare speak. You know what it is? It's not just that your freedom of speech is being interfered with. It's your freedom of thought. Because when you're going to say something and you think about it, and what's your reaction? What's a lot of people's reaction? I better not say that. I'm going to get myself banned. I better not think that. I better not say that thing about transgenders. I better not say that thing about the Second Amendment. On and on it goes. But we have been looking at some of the studies, some of the stories that are out there that conservatives think are being covered. And Charlie, it's frightening to see. Do you want some examples? Happy to give you some examples of this.
45 seconds, and then we'll pick it up after the break.
All right, we'll just give you one. Hunter Biden, or Joe Biden, has said unequivocally he's never discussed his business, his son's business deals. He said it over and over again. All right, so what was Hunter Biden's partner, Eric Sherman, doing in the White House? What was he doing in there? And it's not just that he went to the White House. He went to the White House 19 times, according to the logs, including one visit with Vice President Joe Biden. Do you think there's any media interest in that? They should be breaking down every door to find out what was he doing there 19 times. Not one single story's been done on this.